Hello, Munga Funga here on the bridge over Foul Rift, the most dangerous rapids on the Delaware River apparently. Don't swim in the Delaware River, don't. So anyway, Munga Funga here, and I guess this is a video about starting an art journey at 52. I don't even like calling what I do art. I just feel weird about it. I don't know why. I'm trying to get over that. This is my artwork. It's just so strange for me to say that. But you know, the bug really hit me, and I always was drawing and doodling, and that's the only way I could pay attention in high school was just to just constantly be doing something with my hands. And the teachers the classes I did the best at had the teachers who understood that I had to doodle. Otherwise the mind would wander and I couldn't pay attention to anything. So you can imagine my grades were fantastic. But I tried to paint, I was never good at it. I never could quite be patient enough to blend paint, and you know, like this, it's just like it was always pencil or ink, pen. So I didn't really ever consider myself an artist, because you know, it's doodles really. Maybe some cartoons. I did a cartoon called Single Cell Organism for a while, and that was a hybrid of digital and drawings. So you always have to, when you're in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, there's no trespassing signs everywhere. You know, I'm just sitting on the tracks. I'm just waiting for somebody to come along and ask me what I'm doing. It's like, yeah, I'm shooting a video for YouTube like an asshole on the train tracks. Like, look at this pretentious shit I'm doing. But it is what it is. So that's why you see me constantly, you know, some guy just left the parking lot down there, so I'm watching the power companies over here, and you know, they probably don't want me going any further on the bridge. But anyway, so when I start creating stuff, I can't stop. In fact, before I even started making videos about it, even this video, I've already just made a ton of stuff, and it's like I get obsessed. And so I put it down for a long time, and I got more obsessed with music. Then what happened was there's a store. Ooh, I think that's I don't know if you can see that. This is a great area for raptors. They love the power lines. We got an osprey down here. I've seen bald eagles. I don't know what that was. It could have been a red. There's another one. Could have been a red-tailed hawk or something. It's my default. Fuck, it's a red-tailed hawk. You can hear them too. I don't know what that is. Goose, I think. But anyway, so my wife was going to a place in Stroudsburg called the Anarchist Closet, and she was selling her tea there. And she's like, oh, they have art from like local people on the walls. You should bring something there. And I was like, I don't have anything. So I had, all I did have was like one where when I first moved into my house, I tried to be all artsy fartsy, and I went in my basement and slashed up a canvas and threw paint all over it, you know. This was in 2009, and even at that time, and I cut hearts in it too, and it was just so cheeseball. And then I felt bad for cutting into the canvas, so I stitched it back together. And anyway, so I had that, and I had another thing, which is just messing with paint, and I was not like, this isn't my, you know, it's just not even okay. It's just kind of like, ugh. So I kind of was like, well, take the slashed up one and see what, because that, for me, it's not so much about being an artist or even making art. I just like to see what happens. So that goes the same for, like, will anybody buy this? Because, you know, I figured people surely have slashed up canvases. And so she took the stuff up there, and she said that Erin, the owner, was like really stoked about the slashy one. She said she'd never seen anybody stitch it back together. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So she put it up on the wall for $100, and I was like, $100 for that? Because you can see the wall through the holes. And so in the meantime, that really inspired me, and I was like, if she thinks that's good or even interesting, like maybe I could do something else. And I started considering, like, right now in my life, like, my whole family is gone. All my relatives have, well, not my immediate family relatives, mom, dad, I have no brothers and sisters, all gone. Grandmother, grandfather, all gone. Aunts, most of my aunts and uncles are gone on my father's side. And really, I don't keep in contact too much with the other side. So, but that being said, I inherited all my parents' stuff, and my daughter moved out, and I inherited all her stuff. So I've got toys and bins everywhere, and I don't just want to throw them away, but she's not helping me get rid of them, and it's just like a wall of bins in my basement. It's just like everywhere. So, you know, I'm like, maybe, I told her, I was like, I'm just going to turn this into something. And she was like, fine. I was like, you know, I hope none of it is like holds dear memories or anything. And she didn't seem really like she cared, you know? So I was like, all right. So I took, I had a Shine Bright stencil, like a cheesy cornball Shine Bright stencil from the dollar store. And so I started spray painting it on a canvas, you know, Shine Bright, a whole bunch of them. And then I like squared it off, and I'll show a picture of it in a second. And so then I was like, Shine Bright. And I was like, yeah, it's cheesy. It looks neat, because I was just experimental in paint at that point. And I was like, I started thinking about the toys. So then I was thinking about Care Bears. I know she has Care Bears everywhere. So I found a Care Bear, and I was like, the Care Bears are always telling people what to do. They're always like, don't worry, just be happy. And it's like, no, Care Bear, we have real problems. Like, I need to pay my bills, Bear. That's what I need. I you know, like, oh, I got a hole in the roof, Bear. What are we going to do? I got a mortgage, Bear. You know, and I was like, so I've always been irritated by the Care Bears in a way. And so I pushed the Care Bear through the canvas, and then I wrote, it'd pick or die. So Shine Bright or die. And that was my way of showing, like, the Care Bears, like, are pretty much like, fuck you, you gotta care, you know? So Shine Bright or we'll fucking kill you, you know? I thought it was really funny. So I took that and another one that had a doll cut out of it in, like, a window. And for me, I put the doll too close to the window. I really was like, ugh. But then I was like, you know what, just go see if it sells. And so we went there, and I think it only took those two. And what was that? I wonder if that came out. That was cool. Oh, never mind. But anyway, I took those there, and there was a kid working there, a guy working there. Goes by Brother Bear the Rapper, and he was just like, I want that, to the Care Bear one. And I'm like, I just walked in the door. Now the other ones didn't sell, but like, I just walked in the door, like, he's just like, I was like, he's like, how much you want for it? And I was like, I've never done this before. Money, like, the fact that you want it at all is just nuts. And the fact that you want it, like, just right now is just like, okay. If he said $5, I'm like, fuck it, take it. I'm more stoked that this happened, you know? And so that was the first art sale ever. And it was a Care Bear. And the funny thing was, I was like, and you know, maybe this is like a lesson for me, and maybe for you as well, but I started explaining what it was about, and he had a whole different take on it. And I was like, you know, what I just said about the Care Bears being like sort of like care bullies, you know, it's a compassion bullying. And he was like, no, I see it as, if you don't shine bright, you will die. And I'm like, that's what it means then. And he sent me a picture. It was like hung up on his wall and everything. And I was like, wow, what a... For me, it was, you know, that he found something out of it. That's why, too, and I said to Aaron up there, I was like, if somebody, it really means something to somebody, and you're selling it for $100, and they can tell you, like, oh, this reminds me of my family, my uncle, blah, 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 just whatever, 50, 60, 40, just make up a price if it makes them happy. And so that was crazy, like, that happened. And then the other one sold for like $40, and then I got some art supplies out of that. And so that was like, oh wow. And then I had a family tree portrait, and you know, it was like a Christmas gift, and I didn't really like, I wasn't going to use it. And it was really cool though, but I wasn't going to use it. So I was like, I want to do something with this. And so I flipped all the papers around, and it was funny, I was going to try, I'm like, how do I get canvases to fit behind these photo frames and still lock into place, because they're too thick? And it's just like, my brain is like, hey stupid, just turn the paper around. So I painted little like aliens on them, and I guess it's more like Foster's Home aliens, and kind of like that kind of style. And I took it up to the Anarchist closet, and It was there for a while, and then the owner, Aaron, was like, I'm just going to keep it. I was like, so that's like three sales, because she didn't pay me for it. I told her to just, like, if somebody comes in and they like another person's piece of art, then just give them a discount out of what you were going to charge, what you were going to give me. So, you know what I mean? If somebody just doesn't have enough money, then there's something like $60, just give them like 20, cover that 40 or whatever, because she was offering 40. So I was like, just do that. And it was so cool though, because it was like, that's the owner. And like, so it's like a confidence booster, like crazy. And I was like, so then, but the thing is like my mind starts going like, and it's just like idea. And that's kind of how this is all starting, and where I don't consider myself an artist. I really consider myself more of like an experimenter, and I like to just see what happens and have fun. And so that's what this is, long drawn out story to just say that is how I am beginning my current art journey. And it's fun, and I hope to really put some stuff out there that makes people go. And that's another thing, like I like to get rid of junk. And I know that's definitely a thing in the art world, but it's cheaper than art supplies. I got all these toys to use up. I've got, I found no trespassing signs, and I made like an American flag out of it. I got stickers from work that they're just going to throw away. They gave me this really good paper that they couldn't use, and it's like, you want it? I'm like, hell yeah, you could spray paint this paper. It's such good paper, like ninja, like cut you in the neck paper, crazy. And so I'm trying to get rid of some things too. So there's like a lot of things to process. I've had some strange experiences in my life, and I want people to look at what I'm doing to be like, what? Some of it anyway, to be like, what is that? What is that? So I got the floor pins, which I'm making a mythology out of them. So they're Sasquatch. I'm making like a little mythology that they're it's a microplastic eating fungus that eventually burps these things out of the ground, and I keep the ones that have eyes on them because they're cute, and I just nail them, screw them to canvases, and so those are the floor pins, and there's a whole story behind the floor pins, but yeah, that's it. I can't really think of anything. So as soon as I put this down, I'm going to think of it, but I'm not going to do any editing or anything like that. Just straight through. It says 12 minutes and 50 seconds. That's plenty of time. Let's just wait 6 seconds until it's 13 minutes, and that's good luck. 2, 1.